there, wonderful listeners. We are back with a new episode of the Weekly Freak. And today, let's talk about change. Change is such a big subject, it's private, it's business, it's work, it's everywhere. It's part of life, change. And in these times right now, a lot of things are changing. And also, not only are a lot of things changing for everyone, and we may not even have asked for that change, so we're invited to simply just live with it, go with the flow with it and let life do its thing, which is ever changing because we're ever changing. So these changes are not always simple and not always wanted or wished for, yet the invitation is really to get in the flow with them and to stay away from the negative outcome or negative thinking or the negativity that sometimes is our first reaction because that's how we're programmed, but to look on the positive and look on the flow side, that you're actually in flow with life when you go with these changes, even if the changes rip you out of your normality, because it opens up a new stage, a whole new place that you otherwise would not have even been able to experience because you were comfy where you were. Well, the change is actually bringing something new for you, and if you stay in the flow, even if you didn't want that change, then the positive and good can actually come out of it and show to yourself like what that really is, because it's not always like right at the minute there is a change and you see the positive and the good, right? But once you flow with the change, it's more and more showing to yourself that it's actually a good thing, and there are new possibilities, new stepping stones, new things are coming your way. Now, that is the change that's just kind of happening. Life is happening, changes are happening. That's how it goes. Then there are the changes that you'd like to do, that you'd like to see. And some of them you can actually change. And those, yes, change them. Don't think so much. If it feels good, go for the change. Also, make sure that you're, of course, taken care of when you're going for the change. But do the changes that actually feel good for you. Don't hold on to the old that doesn't feel good. If you can change it and it feels good, it's in line, it gets you further, makes you happier, healthier, more successful, whatever you want in life, go for these changes step by step, baby steps sometimes, or a huge leap, whatever it is. Go for the change, trust yourself to make it happen. And that's really, really powerful living, very powerful living. And then, of course, there are the changes that you would like to see, yet you are not necessarily able to create the change right now. In those situations, if you know that you can down the road make the change, but just not right now, in those situations, I would tell you to focus on how you want it to be and really tune into that happiness there, into that well-feeling in there, and try to find ways how you can be okay right now in the situation that you can't change. So find little things that are still okay and of well-feeling nature for you right now, while focusing on the big change that is incredible, that you can't wait for it to happen. And that speeds things up a little bit. It gets you into a frequency where you actually feel good all the time, meaning that the good things can actually come for you, because that's where they live, in that frequency. So you're matching yourself with the frequency of the good things. Now, there are also changes, big changes, world changes, that you would like them to happen. You would like to see them. You may even work towards them. You may even speak out for them. Yet they're just so big and so hard to do, and you can't change it. Let's say you're stuck at a workplace that's just not a positive space, and you're a very positive person and you would like to bring more positivity to the table. And you do that, but it's not sustainable because you can't keep it up, because the place is not, positive, or the people are not positive, and it's just one for many, right? Those, I would say, try to not focus on changing that workspace or that big thing. Instead, change yourself. Now, changing yourself is in any situation is the only thing you can really take charge of, you know, because it's yourself. So focusing on yourself to change yourself first is always the best thing to do. Nothing has to change on the outside. I'm just gonna shift myself so I feel right. That is always the best step you can take for yourself. It's the truest because you align with who you are. How much truer can it get? Yet, if you have something that you can change, you'd like to change, is so big to change, but you're not the only one in the situation, for instance, those especially, stop try to change things, others, situations out there. Go inward and shift yourself. So just find good feeling things at that workplace for you. Slowly see where you could make a change in your workplace or in your private life. Focus on that more, you know, work less there and focus on your private life more to just create this well-feelingness that shifts so you feel good no matter what, because that way you are in charge and you're not giving a situation like that the power over you and how you feel. That's really what you want. And to really embrace that and just say, you know what, I can't change that right now, but I can absolutely shift myself. And I'm just gonna focus on everything that feels well for me. Many times, when you shift inside of you, your surroundings shift, whatever that will mean in that situation, because it means something different for everyone's situation. You know, be it a new job comes your way, or be it that actually there is a shift in that company, maybe because they get new leadership or change in the leadership or something like that. So it changes really the surroundings. When you change, the surroundings change. And other people might say, hey, what are you doing? Because you actually are doing amazing in this really kind of unhappy environment. How do you do it? Then you can teach them, you can invite them to do the same, and then you actually have more people doing the same thing. So it's really powerful when you are okay with change, B, when you embrace change. You just love it, you know, you stay in the flow with change because it's life. And then of course C, what you can change, you know, change it. What are you waiting for? If it feels good, you can change it, you know. And then furthermore, whatever you can change, shift inside of you and just don't put so much focus on that what you can't change. It's okay to just let it be and not make it the biggest thing in your life and take over your life and emotions. It's okay to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna put that focus away. I'm gonna focus on me, how I feel, make myself a priority, and see what that does for you, because a lot of times it shifts your surroundings too. And then you, I mean, just created this superpower shift because you are very powerful. You're very powerful. So I hope this helps you a little bit, you know, at least to kind of, you know, fall in love with change a little bit, see change from a different perspective, and also like get a little pumped about that. Not everything needs to be changed, or you can't be happy. You can be happy right now without that thing being changed. All you got to do is shift inward. And honestly, in my work and the way I live, and my recommendation is always shift inward first. Do it inside of you first. Feel the way you want to feel first, and a lot of these things will solve itself like magic. And hey, who doesn't want magic, right? And it's easy too, because you're not wasting your energy and, you know, giving your energy away to try to change something and really fighting for it and whatnot. And then you come out on the other end completely exhausted. So go inward, yet fall in love with change. Stay in a flow with life that's always ever changing, and so are you. And then change what you can change. Go for it. And of course, go inward if you can't change it. Focused inward. You really deserve to feel good. You really do. And I hope you will fall in love with change, because I do love change a lot. My name is Jacqueline, I'm your host of the Weekly Freak. You can find me at FreakyHealer.com, and you can always reach me via email or through my website or whatnot. You can totally find me, and I'm here for you. Thanks for listening.